We all have the right to do nothing. That is the existence of the human. As a human, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to participate. We don't have to care. We just have to live our lives in community and go about our day to day functions, eating, pooping, sleeping, period. Then there's the soul. I don't know how other people try to describe it, but for me, the soul is the incarnation of the energy that is speaking now. Remember, as a baby, we don't know how to talk. So that means the human doesn't know how to talk. The soul, or the consciousness, knows how to talk, and it learns by observation, imprinting, and hearing. And then it interprets it through the vessel, which is our antenna, the body, to the vibrations and frequencies that match that of our family, our friends, our culture, the people around us. That's what the human does, align with the soul. The thing for the soul is the soul has been here many lifetimes before. So these day to day functional activities become boring to the soul. The soul's like, I've done this before, I've been here before, I want to do something new, I want to do something exciting, or I just want to relax and rest, right? That's why we have to remember when we say pay attention to the body, listen to the body, what we're saying is listen to the body in response to the soul's excitement or to the soul's disapproval. Not saying that you have to agree with or do exactly what the soul is saying, but pay attention because those are old trigger points from ancestor, from past life, right? We have our physical triggers, which is my mama did this, my daddy said that, this happened in my physical life as a child. But there's also the triggers for the emotional soul where it's like, I've been here before. I know I've been here before, but I don't know what to do. And that's really, really frustrating to someone who really wants to know what to do next, right? For me, myself, I don't put any titles on myself. I'm sure somebody could diagnose me with something, but we all have something, right? We're all on a spectrum. What I've learned about myself is that I get super depressed when I feel that I'm not serving a purpose. Now, me as the human, I am not depressed. I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm functional, but there's something emotionally inside of me that's like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And so I could, as the human, trust that and say, fine, let's go drink, let's go get high. And then neither one of us are happy because now the body's trying to recover all the time, the mind's trying to recover, the emotions are still in recovery, and now they have this added layer of trauma we're adding to it by adding additives and things on the outside of us. And so I tell people, even with knowing that, again, I'm not condoning anything, but I always say the thing you use to escape is not at fault. It is the thing that you're using is the vehicle that gets you to the escape, right? So I don't blame alcohol. I don't blame drugs. I don't blame any of that. I try to understand why there's a disconnect between the human avatar and the soul. And so when we say we're having a spiritual awakening, it's saying that the human recognizes that the soul needs more than just this human life, right? Some souls come back just to experience the human life. Other souls come back to complete a soul purpose that was so big, that was so good, that they were so close to fulfilling, but they just needed this one last thing, right? And so the part that comes in that feels hard and heavy for those on the spiritual journey is I'm doing this work, I'm doing this work, I'm doing this work, I see no results. That's because it's not for us, right? A lot of the work that we as spiritualists do, we might not get to see in our lifetime. You understand? That's why it's important to not get caught up in instant recognition or instant fame. Of course, it's nice to have, but again, when you have it, what are you going to do with that energy? Remember, attention is just energy. So, what are you going to do with it when you have it? So, this is why it's important to not just chase a dream because the ego is excited about it and not just chase a dream because the soul is excited about it. Ask questions, make sure that they align with each other. Because when we take the time to do that, that's where I feel my depression and anxiety lessened, right? Because I was taking the time to say, okay, I have this human body. I have a good life. I have a good job. I'm healthy, relatively in good places. I don't have too much fear or anxiety, right? That's my human existence. But my soul existence still feels tortured. And I had to learn how to sit as a human, which we call meditation, and ask myself, what are you running from? What is it that you feel you need to complete that we're not completing, right? And that's where the soul gets to say, well, in my past life, or the last time, or from what I remember, And as a human, it's not our job to try to associate it with our human existence now. That's why the spiritual realm sounds woo woo to people, right? Because if you're only accepting and used to the physical world where it's tangible answers, that's beautiful. But people have to remember you're waiting for answers from other humans, right? When you can simply observe the living universe doing what it does all the time. It's very observable in other species and the world around us, and we can make it applicable to humans and how we apply it to our everyday life. But that's not what the soul cares about. The soul cares about creating energy that does not exist before, so that it can keep becoming a hybrid of itself to keep expanding and evolving. Remember, you can have a seed, but if you have nothing to plant that seed in, it's not going to grow. If there's no water, if there's no source of energy, if there's no nutrients, that seed will remain the seed dormant. And then you have something like earth, where it's nutrient, it's the womb, it has everything you need. But again, if it has no seeds to grow, from what I know, it's just the earth, right? We still need it, but I'm saying, like, without the exchange of seeds, what's it growing? So this is us, the human, the seed, coming together with the spirit, the design, the soul. Even though we don't know what that design is, and we might not know that we're an orange tree, right? We just know that we're a seed, and out of nowhere, we're an orange tree. We start blossoming, we think we're a flower, oh, now we have oranges. Whatever the case may be, or a cherry blossom. I'm just using an analogy, choose which tree you like. The point is that when we start to recognize that that design of whatever fruit or flower you're supposed to become, that is the part of the destiny that we speak of, right? People talk about purpose a lot. Your purpose is aligned to your design. So even if you yourself have free will, you can choose whatever path you want. You will still become that thing. May it be distorted or may it be the divine, right? You can become a distorted version of your truth, or you can become the divine version of your truth. But when you align that human with the soul mind and the soul heart, you allow them to heal together. And that's when they say the veil is lifted between them. I hear some people talk about the veil as far as being able to see into the occult and the spiritual world. Yes, but it's a two-way street now. You can see into the spiritual realm as well as the physical, and you see how they interact. You see the bridge. You see what connects them. You see all of that stuff that other people are saying are their thoughts coming from a spiritual place, because you can explain it in such a way that you understand, because I understand the essence of consciousness and knowing how to slow down and be patient, things will come back to me. When I leave space between something, it gives it time to breathe. Nothing just goes. Even our breathing takes a break, right? Inhale, exhale. That's taking a break. We're not just breathing in and breathing in and breathing in and breathing in. We collapse, right? We're breathing out and breathing out. We explode. So that's the whole point of learning how to live in the physical, but also respect your spiritual. So that then the bridge that holds them together are your emotions. And in that emotional space is where we allow ourselves to connect to both worlds and heal. I would say together. There's not ever going to be at the same speed, but it's going to be together. So this is where we talk about twin flame and soulmate and all that. You can then see the path of your twin flame. Again, twin flames are the dualistic opposite of you. In my opinion, you don't want to be with them, you just want to learn from them. Soulmates have crossed the bridge and they're on the other side of you and they're in the same journey with you. And you guys are still on separate paths, but you are on that same side together and you're working together to propel that energy, right? Twin flames, it's heavier because you're on the opposite end and it's so opposite that you're both trying to work together and try to keep the flow. It doesn't have to be equal flow, but it has to be balanced flow. So learning how to listen to the masculine and the feminine, which are representatives of one side of the bridge and the other, when they learn how to communicate and integrate, they become their higher selves. This is that tertiary perspective I speak of. So when you can do that, you become an empathetic being, which is the true essence of a human, and then you allow the soul to work through it and receive source energy, which is imagination, dreams, everything else that comes into reality that we call the humanities, entertainment, community. Hope that makes sense. Love ya. Mwah.